Are you tired of having leads, not knowing what to do with it? Are you tired of being behind, not knowing how to come back? In this video, we'll be talking about macro. This is going to be the beginner's guide to macro. So what is macro? You're playing League of Legends, you hear it all the time, you read about it, but you don't really know exactly what it is. It's like some invisible force like Valentine's Day, right? Like love. You can't see it, but you know it's there. Macro is the same exact way. The way that you perceive League of Legends, the strategic side of League of Legends, sometimes just isn't present, especially if you're a new player or if you're just someone that just doesn't think about it too much. And not having macro, meaning pretty much you're doing everything without actually thinking about it, right? Imagine going to the store and not knowing what you're trying to buy. That's the same thing, right? Playing League of Legends, going into the game, not sure what you're supposed to do. You're just kind of playing. And that's a lot of the reason why players have a lot of struggles with that. A lot of students that I coach are in the same boat. They're like, well, I don't really know the macro game. I don't really know what to do. You know, I always get fed and then we end up losing, or, you know, I get behind and I don't really know how to come back, or we start winning as a team and then the whole team just starts monkeying around and everybody dies, and that's because there's no macro. And if you don't have it, 9 times out of 10, your teammates probably won't have it. So how do I learn macro? Well, honestly, it's pretty simple. What you want to do is think about before you do anything. I mean, that sounds simple. How do I apply it? I know, because it's not really that simple once you're getting into the roots. Anyway, so pretty much thinking about before you do anything. So let's just kind of have an example. I want to go ward. Go ward. Simple as that. Now, is there a difference between warding randomly versus warding on the camp to see Evelynn? Because you know she has to come out of invisibility to farm. Therefore, if you put it on a camp, you will see her and you'll see where she's going. You see the difference here? There's a big difference between doing something just to do it and doing something because you have a thought behind it. Oh, let me go for the trade. Okay. Do you go for the trade just because you see him and you feel like you're the stronger champion? Or do you go for the trade because Renekton has no fury, right? Aphelios has the wrong guns. Xerath missed his stun. Zed wasted his shadow. You see what I mean? There's a lot more to the game than meets the eye. And if you can play that way, I guarantee you will realize how much easier it is to carry your games and to win your games. You do not want to do things without thought. So how do I use macro to carry? Learning macro is the hard part, but using it to carry is another thing in its own, right? Well, macro choices like where to ward and stuff like that does get me into mid game, but how do I carry it through mid to late game? Like my team still just do a lot of dumb stuff all the time. The thing you have to realize is that League is definitely a team game. A lot of the choices that you make is going to impact your team. Think of it like a tall tale game. I don't know if you guys ever played like The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us, or maybe just choose your own adventure storybooks or like computer games, something like that. Like the things where you choose something and you notice the effect later on. How could this apply to League? Pretty much, let's say I'm the mid laner and I call Dragon, but my jungler has no mana. But I don't realize that. And my bot lane's trying to back. They didn't spend items. And I don't realize, or spend gold. And I don't realize that. We all go to Dragon. We all fight. We inevitably lose because bot didn't back and jungle had no mana. Not only do they get Dragon, which is the small thing that we notice, but they also get free kills, right? And at that point in time, it doesn't seem like that bad. But then 10 minutes later, you realize, holy crap, that just snowballed the game. But you're not thinking about that initial decision. You're thinking about just the stuff that happened between that initial decision and to here. Because now bot lane's behind, so that they're going to get bullied and killed over and over again. And the jungler's behind, and he can't really gank because the jungler's taking his camps and stuff like that. So that one call initially led to all of that domino effect. And understanding how to carry the game is understanding what's happening in it, right? If you have that same call and you don't understand why you called it, which is, oh, let's go to Dragon, and we lose the fight. How do you learn from that? How do you learn when there's no initial reason why I'm going for it other than just, oh, my teammate called that, I go for it? You need to understand why your teammate's calling something, and if it's not your teammate, you need to be calling it yourself. A lot of players think, well, if I call things and it's wrong, I don't want to get flamed. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to miss every shot you don't take, right? You're going to become a worse player at not making calls, and you're going to sit there and stay in bronze, silver, gold, iron, platinum, whatever you are, because you're not playing like the rank above. If you're silver wanting to get the gold, you have to play like a gold player. If you're gold trying to get the platinum, you got to play like a plat. If you're a plat trying to get the diamond, you got to play like a diamond, right? And so you're going to have to take the initiative here and try to change the outcome of the games by using the macro. Macro is huge. if you use it properly. As I said, every single call that you make, you need to have a specific reason behind it. If you can manage to have a specific reason behind every single call you make, it's 10 times easier to get better at the game because you understand why you made the call, which means you can understand why it went wrong. If a call just happens, whether it's a call or not, and it just randomly happens, you guys know sometimes fights just break out and you like, oh, what do I do, right? That's something that you just can't improve on, because how do you get better at fighting when you're not even calling the fights and the fights just break out? Like, there's no setup here. Same thing for like dragon. If you're calling a dragon, is it better to just go at dragon at 0 seconds, or is it better to go 30 seconds, ward everywhere, get vision, so that when they're coming in, funneling to the dragon, you can catch them out? Macro is huge. And if you ever watch a high-elo player or a streamer or pro play's a little different because there's 5 of them, you'll notice everything that they do, they have a reason. Even though they don't say it, it makes sense if you can find that reason. And that's why I'm here, because I know that's a lot to do. And that's why, you know, I watch over these games on my Patreon. I watch over the high-elo games so I can help explain stuff like that to you, because it's a lot easier to notice this stuff, especially watching high-elo VODs, if I'm watching it and I'm giving you what's there. You know, I may not be a challenger, but it doesn't mean I don't understand the game. Coaching is my job, therefore I study this game a lot. You don't see all coaches in basketball or football and stuff like that being the all-star player, right? So it's not about how you play, it's about what you know. And the fact that I'm studying this stuff, you know, it's my job. I know a lot about this game, and that's why I have those videos like that, so I can give you guys the knowledge. When I look at the pro games and I explain to you what you can apply into your solo queue games, that's because I understand what they're doing and I know how to break it down to the point where you guys can actually use it in your games. And I said the same thing with the high-elo games. I've been in your shoes before. You guys are just trying to learn. You guys are just trying to get better, and everything's just all out there, and you don't know what's right, what's wrong, what to reach for, what will work, what won't work, and you're just trying to do everything at the same time, and that doesn't help. There's a reason why every student that I've coached has climbed. There's a reason for that. And that's because I work with them, especially after hours, right? I work with them, I answer their questions and things like that, because I know the game is hard. And my goal here, that was weird, touch. My goal here is to make sure that you guys get better. That's the main goal. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys want to join my Patreon, please feel free to do so. That's where all the guides are. That's where all the advanced guides are. That's where all the expert guides are. As I said, the VODs of the high-elo games, comparing it to low-elo games and stuff like that. All that is on my Patreon. Also, you know, that supports the channel. That supports me being able to make videos like this. It's sometimes hard to do that when I don't have the time, or when I don't have the ability to do that, because, you know, I'm busy with something else, or I'm working on something else. So this allows me to just kind of take that break and make these videos for everybody. So Patreons, once again, I thank you guys for all that you guys have done. It means a lot to me, especially for those that have been there for a long, long time. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you know what I always say, thank you for approaching this like a coach.